Hi, I'm Caitlin.
And I'm Sarah.
And we're here to talk to you about low back pain and cycling.
So research from 2016 found that 10 to 60% of cyclists experience low back pain. Pain and discomfort can cut your ride short and keep you sidelined. So we're here to share some tips and tricks and make sure that you're in tip-top shape for the bike rally.
So what causes back pain in cyclists? Some of the most common causes are bike setup, body positioning, muscle imbalances, and muscle fatigue.
So how can you fix or prevent back pain? Step 1 would be to get the right equipment. Your bike is going to determine how your body is positioned during the long rides. So making sure that you have the right equipment is super important.
The most important place to start is with the frame size. To measure yourself for a road bike, take a 2-inch binder or book and place it between your legs so it's flush with your crotch.
Next, what you're going to want to do is take measuring tape and measure from the floor to the top of the binder. This is the inseam. So for Sarah, it's 29 inches. So for Sarah, because her inseam is 29 inches, if we multiply that by 0.65, her inseam is 18.85 or 19 inches. Sarah is a great example. Because her frame size is 19 inches or 48 centimeters, she's in between frame sizes. When you're in between, you always want to go with a smaller bike frame. This is because you can make a bike longer, but we can't make one shorter. So always go with the smaller size. Next, you're going to look at seat tilt.
How your seat is tilted is going to determine how much load your spine is under during your ride. If your seat is tilted too far back, it can put your spine into more flexion, increasing the load on your spine. If your seat is too far forward, you may end up slipping out of the saddle. Research shows that a 10 to 15 degree anterior tilt is the ideal position to reduce load and tension on the low back while riding.
Lastly, we want to talk about upper body position. The goal should be to try to have your shoulders in line with the lower part of your back. This will be different for all cyclists based on their height. Shorter cyclists may end up with their handlebars 1 to 2 inches below the saddle, whereas tall cyclists may need their handlebar as much as 4 inches below the saddle. Generally speaking, the arms should be comfortably bent to 15 degrees with your hands on the drops. The hands should be in line with the forearms to avoid wrist strain. If at any point you notice your hands going numb, raise the height of your handlebars. You may be compromising the pathway of the nerves traveling through your carpal tunnel.
Try a few of these changes and see how it affects your ride. It may feel weird at first, but give yourself an adjustment period where you go on short rides to see how the bike feels. If you're still experiencing pain after 2 weeks, there may be something else going on. To see if your bike is fitted correctly for you, go to your local bike shop and ask about getting fitted. Once you get the right fit, the second most important thing you can do is to train your body off the bike. When you're riding long distances, your body gets fatigued. You may be focusing on your leg strength and endurance, but how many of you are focusing on your core? A strong, stable core is what's going to help build a solid base for your legs so you can generate more power. If your core lacks the endurance to remain solid throughout your entire ride, it can lead to fatigue and improper loading of those muscles. And eventually, that can lead to back pain. Research has shown that cyclists with back pain tend to have imbalances between their deep core muscles and their back muscles. So off the bike, you should be training your core. Here are 4 favorite exercises that we think every cyclist should be incorporating into their training routine.
First off is a bird dog. Start on all fours with your hands under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. Keeping your back flat, extend your opposite arm and leg. Repeat on the other side and do 10 reps per side for 3 sets. This exercise targets your back extensors, which will help you maintain good posture on your bike. Try to avoid hyperextending your low back by lifting your leg up too high. To make this exercise easier, focus on moving just your arm or just your leg at a time. Next is a side plank. You want to keep your shoulder underneath your elbow and stagger your feet. Lift your hips and make sure your body is in a straight line. Hold for 10 seconds per side for 3 sets. Work your way up to 15, 20, 25, and 30 seconds over time as you get better. Make sure you switch sides. A side plank is awesome for increasing the endurance of your obliques. You're going to use your obliques when you're riding out of the saddle, and they're going to help stabilize your spine while you're adding extra twisting forces during a climb. To make this easier, try it out from your knees. The next exercise is a curl up. We can't forget about the anterior core muscles to round out your core endurance. Laying on your back, bend one knee to 90 degrees. Place your hands under your low back and lift just your shoulders off the ground. Hold for about 10 seconds and switch sides. Repeat 3 times per side. This exercise is going to target your abs without activating your hip flexors like a traditional crunch. Finally, we have the psoas stretch. To target the psoas, lunge forward and raise the arm on the same side you're stretching. To feel the stretch even more, lean away from the side that you're stretching. This muscle is one of the major muscles that flex your hip and also attaches to your spine. So an important step to help with hip and low back pain is to stretch the muscles on the front of your hip that are placed in shortened positions for most of a ride. We hope you found some of these tips helpful and are wishing you good luck at the bike rally.